Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Big Mac's Truck Stop. Well, we have some exciting news today. I got myself another radio controlled truck, and it's a cab over this time, and we have a few little body issues that we're going to take care of, and we'll go over that in a minute. I custom scratch built some deck plates. As you see, we have a little problem there that we need to fix, and we have a little small piece that goes in front of the fifth wheel, and this one goes, it's the back plate, and this is the back door to the back of the cab to take the door off and on to get to plug the battery in, unplug it, take it out, whatnot. And these rear fenders, I had them ordered because they were going to go on a trailer, and they weren't the taste that I was looking for, and I used something else. But anyway, these are for the Tamiya Grand Hauler trucks, or it could be for the cab overs as you see here. But they are already painted red, and I've decided to paint the truck red, the whole cab, inside and out. This truck is going to have the Dunmore stripe package. I don't know if I can put a link in the description or not. I'll try to find a picture of the truck that I'm going to build, whatever. But anyway, this contraption that you see, I got everything all figured out. I got this as a wiring harness now, because there's two headlights, and you have the black and yellow wire, they're cab lights that go on top. This goes over on the driver's side, and this other one goes over here on the right side. They have to be like that because they're running lights to make the truck operate somehow. I've got I got three cab lights inside, and one goes inside the interior, which you will not be able to see an interior. I'm going to have black tinted windows, because you're not going to be able to see all this conglomeration and stuff. And back here, these are your left and right hand turn signals, the green and yellow. And over here, this conglomeration of stuff, if you can see this going down, this is the wiring harness going to the back. I have brake light, tail light, turn signals, and reverse light, and a backup alarm, which is in here. So anyway, here's a speaker, and this is the MFC-01. This makes the control everything. And then this is the receiver back here. I don't know if you can see it or not, just a little block. And this is where you plug the battery in. And this is the battery tray, which I know everything looks kind of tight, but it'll squeeze right down in there and not have a problem. And I can take these pins, okay, and I can put these arms back out through here. If you can see them, here's one. Yeah, there they are. So I can secure the battery down in there if I'm going to be traveling around in the driveway, sidewalk travels and whatnot. So this is a shorter wheelbase than what I normally have. The other two trucks are lengthy. They got a long wheelbase. And I have redone the steering in the other two trucks. And I did the steering in this truck. It's all been, some of it's been rebuilt. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you have to rebuild stuff. And when you put tires on there, you have to make sure they are on, or there'll be the wobble going on there. So I had to make sure these are put on nice and straight. So anyway, on the cab, it had fender flares on it. And I thought they were so ugly. I took my grinder, or the sander on the Dremel tool, and I cut them all the way off. And when I did, I gouged it just a little bit, and I put putty and filled that in there. Whoops, I'll show you the other side. Trying to be careful here. And this was fixed, but I end up finding a couple more spots right there that I did not like too well. I'm going to redo it. And if you can see, let's see, right there, a little dot. There was a hole right here in the center for a big antenna. And on a digital truck, you don't need that big, ridiculous looking antenna, because This is a digital setup. If it was analog, you would have to have an antenna about 1.5 feet tall, and we don't run antennas like that no more. We're all digitalized here now. So anyway, on the back of the cab, there was a bunch of circles that you could drill and put cab lights, and I'm not putting cab lights on the back of this cab. As you see, it's been all puttied in, and I made little tiny plastic inserts that goes in there, and I puttied it, body work, and I have one place right here that I need to go back through and sand that putty down and re-primer the black primer. But once I get that done, we'll clean this up, and I'm going to use gray primer sealer on it. It's like a lacquer base, and then I'll lacquer primer all this through here. And right there's the collar. This collar is actually from Ace Hardware, and it's called Banner Red. It's straight enamel, and when I paint, or before I paint, I like to shake the can up for at least 5 minutes, maybe 10 or 15 at the most, because the pigment on the bottom of the can, you don't know how long these paint cans sit on the shelf for, probably months at a time until somebody buys them. And you have to shake them up for at least, I'm going to say 15 minutes, just to exaggerate. And that way you get all the pigment start off the bottom of the can, and just do a finalized shake. And then you want to stay all about that distance away and make sure all the areas I make sure all the areas get covered in these little cracks and crevices. And of course I'm going to take paint and do the outline of where the windshield is, the weather seal, and we'll do this in chrome. I'll do that door handle in chrome. I got liquid chrome that I can detail stuff like that. It's really amazing. I got 2 different kinds of pens that you have to shake that up too to get the shiny stuff like there. Anyway, I built that fifth wheel cover a long time ago and decided I didn't like it because I wanted to customize 2 other fifth wheels and bring the back of it down closer to give it more of a, I don't know, cowboy hat look or something, how deep they are. And I didn't have to build this one. It was already built that I did. So I'm just going to use this as is. And as you can see, there was a decal, a Freightliner decal. I'm going to put another one back on there just like it. And this is a Tamiya. It is a globe liner. And I have designed it to where it is a 1980 Freightliner. It's an FLT, Fox Tango Lima. And it's a 110. The 120 is a long wheelbase. 110, this is a short wheelbase. I did do a test run on this truck, and it did absolutely great. Really happy with the results. It took me 4 hours to build the chassis. It took me 4 hours to put all the rear ends together because it comes with the planetaries. Everything is metal or some kind of aluminum stuff. And it took me 4 hours to put this one together. To put this one, and this one together. It took 4 hours to do all that. And then all this wiring, it took, I'm talking evening times now. It took me 4 hours to get all this separated and run this. And I've already had this in stock. And I've had all this other stuff in stock. And I didn't have to spend $380 on another MFC control unit when I've already had it in stock for another truck. And it, just I'll explain later on the future on another video. But I had it in stock and went ahead and used it. And it's got speakers in stock. And it's in place. And you could use double stick tape. And I even had to make a stanchion because it had a lot of, well, the whole, this whole thing would shake. But I supported it now and it won't do that now. So we're good to go on that. And I'm hoping later this week or maybe next week that we can get the rest of these places fixed up and get it under gray primer sealer, this lacquer, and get this done and get all these white pieces all in lacquer. And then today is like the March the 18th right now, and this is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I wanted to make this video and get it put out there and let y'all know that this is a new addition to the radio control truck. So I do have a trailer missing in action. I was supposed to get it a long time ago, and I will show you the trailers that I have. Okay, bring you back. These are the 3 trailers. This one here is made by Tamiya. It used to be a tanker, and I made a log bunk. I custom built all these pieces here, and just scratch built them. Then I painted them. And then this one here is another Tamiya trailer, and I painted the fenders to match the green truck and the red fenders to match the red truck. And I used square hollow tubing, and I used round hollow tubing on this one here. This trailer is built by Hercules, not built by it, it's from Hercules, and I really did not like the way it goes together, but it is a shorter trailer, which is fine. Not having a problem with the shortness of the trailer. I don't like it because it's Hercules. If it was Tamiya, it would be a lot better, but I'm going to keep it anyway. There's no sense, you know, scrapping it or using it for parts. So we're going to go ahead and keep it. And I think it's going to be a future log bunk too. Whenever I get more plastics in, so I can build it. And I'll have 3 log trailers. These are the tools I like to use. These are by Pittsburgh tools, and they got just about everything in there. I got this from my ham radio club. I was a ticket winner, and I got all kinds of screwdrivers, and I got all kinds of the bits and stuff. That is really nice to have to work on these trucks with. Okay, bring it back. I want to show you some of the tools that I use on this truck. I got these needle nose pliers, and they're good for like just tiny stuff that it's hard to get to, and it's good to use. And I can use a little small crescent wrench. I also have a Tamiya. It's a Tamiya or Tamiya, and it's good for like putting these little bolts on. Well, I get the camera fit there, and I know that's Phillips, but you can go behind it and work with that and get them tightened up too. Then I got a pair of wire cutters, because I got all these zip tied together for the wiring harness, and I cut the tabs off of it. And I do have smaller screwdrivers, and I'll show you something else. I have a special lug wrench made by Tamiya. If I need to take these wheels and tires off, there's a Teflon lug nuts that's keeps these tires on. I'm trying to get stuff out of the way here. You just put that wrench on there, and you just turn it, and you can take the wheels off. Also, what I have, I got this from the workplace. I work at an off-road place, and they were throwing different things away. This is a great big, huge, it's like a bearing out of a great big race. And I thought, let me have a couple of them. And I scratch built some plastic on the bottom of it. And I can use them for like jack stands or hydraulic stands, for example. Prop this up here. Hold on a minute. Bring you back. Like that. And I got 2 of those. I could put one right here and one over on the other side if I need to do some kind of work. And I do have other jack stands for the back of this truck that I could use as well. So anyway, yeah, I haven't made a video in a while. I don't know when the last one was. And I just wanted to show you guys my new addition. This makes the 3rd radio control truck that I've got. And all the tools that I use. And sometimes when I cut plastic, I like to use these pair of scissors. They're about half wore out, but they're still good for cutting plastics and shapes and the sizes and whatnot that I need. And sometimes I got tape that I use. I use Scotch tape, and it's just blue tape, and it does pretty good. And I have different flashlights that I have to use. They're little tiny LEDs I can stick up underneath there if I'm doing something, but it keeps me busy, and I like doing this stuff. It's really enjoyable, and when I get them all done, they're fun to play with and drive around all over the place and have a lot of fun. But anyway, I'll bring it back next time when we get this in gray primer and wet sand it, and I'll show you what it's going to look like. And then when we get it painted, I do have paint stripes ordered for it. I'm not sure when they're going to be here. I'm hoping next week sometime. They're coming from Indiana, and they are the Dunmore paint stripes. So I'm going to try to figure out how to get a picture posted on here to show you what it's going to look like. If I can't, I don't know. You can go to my Facebook page at MACK'S, M-A-C-K Moores, and I got tons and tons and tons of truck pictures on there that you can check them out too as well. Anyway, that's all I have for you all today. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.